What's up, everyone? This is Francis over here from Nintendo and and welcome to a special episode of the Xenoblade Chronicles X Show, where I will be talking about the comment about what one of my users was most excited for. So, I told you guys, I think in episode 2, make sure to put what you're most excited for, and whatever comment gets the most upvotes, I will talk about on the next Xenoblade Chronicles X Show. Well, I didn't really have time to do that on Xenoblade Chronicles X Show number 3, but I have time to do that at this point. So that's why I'm doing this episode right for you guys, and it's going to be focused on this guy's comment because he had a fantastic comment that got well more than 20 upvotes or somewhere around that. I don't have the screen cap for you guys, but trust me, it was a fantastic comment. So this is from user Jonuffy, and a link to his channel will be in the description below, so you can check that out. Also, a link to his original comment from the Xenoblade Chronicles X Show number 2 will also be there as well. So let's go ahead and get right into Jonuffy's comment. Okay, where to start? The game is going to be 5 times, nearly 56 square miles. The mechs are 5 times the size of humans. The size of Xenoblade Chronicles, 25 square miles. So exploring that in itself will be the first point. Assuming that 25 square miles incorrect, which I read somewhere, then the story has to be revealed as a lot deeper than in Xenoblade Chronicles. The director, Tetsuya Takahashi, other than being a genius, is known for his ambitious projects in which the past weren't fully realized because of business reasons and timescales. He has vast experience on some well-known previous games such as Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, and the early Final Fantasy games. Takahashi-san is also now being given the time by Nintendo to realize his dreams. Xenoblade Chronicles was a test for this. Yes, just a test. This combined with the fact that his team are high in spirits with the pending wrapping up of the project can only be a very strong indication that they are happy with what they have achieved. If that is the case, then Takahashi is probably happy, and if so, with his ambitious ideas, then we have a Game of the Year on our hands for sure. He has been quoted as saying, 15 years have passed since Monolith was founded, and I believe that with this game, I have finally met the challenge I had within me of creating an RPG in which humans and robots can coexist. Then you have the whole epicness of everything in the game. Sci-fi mixed with a degree of fantasy and a story, of rebuilding initially using the Colony 6 idea from a previous game. See what I mean by test? Then the sheer size of creatures from huge to tiny, a realistic day-night clock with variable weather systems, and creatures that come out at certain times, as in Xenoblade Chronicles added in with the awe of 3 moons rising and setting, vehicles that transform into mechs, an insane draw distance giving you just over the next hill feeling. Oh, and we have heard some of the epic soundtrack, which is more important than ever given the credit for in this kind of title to convey the atmosphere of the world. Finally, we have gamepad integration to look forward to, which will help menu hopping infinitely. What I have seen of that looks awesome. Online, I'm not so hopeful for what we may get, but as a single player experience, this is the most sure I have ever been any pending title that this will be truly fantastic. So, what I am looking forward to in summary at last. 1. Map exploration. Massive in true open world this time. 2. More in-depth storyline than Xenoblade Chronicles, which wasn't shabby at all. 3. Takahashi-san realizes his dream finally on a console that can deliver it. I'm looking forward to seeing what his dream was. 4. Sheer epicness of the world. Monsters, races with a crossover fantasy sci-fi feel, which is refreshing differently. 5. Atmospheric, top quality soundtrack from top quality composer with great current form. And 6. What looks like awesome use of very underused gamepad in such a way that addresses one of the minor flaws of Xenoblade Chronicles. Not that there was a choice on that game. There is plenty more to admire to boot, but that's my main. Okay, so Jonuffy, I have to say, first of all, amazing comment. That was fantastic. You kind of summed up everybody's feelings perfectly with this game, but not only did you sum up your own feelings, but you gave you gave fantastic research and insight, like with Takahashi being able to go into Chrono Trigger, how he was part of Secret of Mana. I mean, with the pedigree like that, and you see what he did with Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, and you see what he's doing with Xenoblade Chronicles X, that type of innovation, that type of just pushing forward no matter what. Okay, you can look at the genre and how it was and then say, no, we're going to one-up that. You know, that's what Chrono Trigger did. And Xenoblade Chronicles X gives me that Chrono Trigger, oh my gosh, feel. Like, this is the game. Like, I remember when Chrono Trigger was first coming out, and back then, I think I was about, how old was I when Chrono Trigger? I think it came out in 95, 94, 95, somewhere around that time, mid-90s. I was, let's see, I was about 8 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and I remember just reading about it in magazines. There wasn't internet then. It was just starting up. I mean, most people didn't have internet. And I remember reading about Chrono Trigger and just saying, oh my gosh, this game is just going to be amazing. I saw what they're doing with the Mode 7. I saw what they're doing with like the landscapes. I didn't see, there was nothing like it, like as far as an RPG goes. And that's the type of feeling I get with Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's like, wow, you know, and the funny thing is that Super Nintendo was in the same situation as like the Wii U is, because like Super Nintendo at the time was not the most powerful system on the market. I mean, the PS1 was out by then. You know, the PS1 out, there was rumors and stuff going on about the N64 and stuff like that, but it was crazy. It was crazy just to see that, like to see what they did with the Super Nintendo and how it pushed it to its limits. And that's kind of what Xenoblade Chronicles X is doing. It's pushing the Wii U to its limits, like to where nobody thought it could go before. And it just gives me that Chrono Trigger vibe. The battle, not the battle system or anything like as far as similarities between that, but just the bearing of innovation in a genre that's just kind of like, okay, well, what's next? You know, what's next? We've seen this. We've seen Secret of Mana. We've seen some of the Breath of Fires, which was back then. We've seen the Final Fantasies, which came out back then. People were like, oh, well, Final Fantasy 6, which in America was Final Fantasy 3. They're like, wow, that's probably the best. Nothing's going to top this. And then they're, you know, then Square Enix at the time, you know, was like, oh, yeah, we got something that could top that. And that's kind of what I see. It's like there's been all these RPGs that have came out, and last generation was somewhat of a downer for RPGs. I mean, somewhat. There were some good ones, but it wasn't as good as the previous generations. But it seems like Nintendo's swinging with this one. I mean, it took them some time, but that doesn't mean this game, it doesn't get the respect that it's deserving, because this is just amazing. So that's kind of how I feel about your comment, Jonuffy. You had a fantastic comment, and you definitely won the little contest we had here. Yeah, so it's just going to be really interesting to see how this one shakes out and how everything turns out. But I'm pretty hopeful, just like Jonuffy said, that this game is going to be really, the single player is going to work out. We'll see what they do with multiplayer, but single player is definitely going to be hands down game of the year. It could easily be right up there with Zelda and, you know, other games that are coming out. But as far as the Nintendo side of things, it's looking very, very, very promising. So thank you so much for watching this episode of the Xenoblade Chronicles X show. And trust me, I will have Xenoblade Chronicles X episode 4 ready to go very soon if it's not already up. So look forward to that right here on P Nintendo and on PlayerEssence.com. Also, make sure you like this video if you did like it. It really helps us spread our content across YouTube. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're someone new, because it really helps us spread our content, get our content out there, and it really helps support the channel here. So I really appreciate all the subscribers who have came and all the new ones going to come after this episode and more to come in the future. All right, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you for the next episode. Peace.